Hi, everyone. Welcome back to How Did You Learn to Do That podcast. Thank you so much for all your love and your support over the last almost 4 months. Can you believe it's been 4 months? I've had an absolute blast bringing these stories to you and sharing these insights with you. And I hope that it's had you inspired and has you on your journey to finding your purpose in life. And also allows you to have some things to learn about, some key tips, some key tricks, and some key insights for you to actually begin to connect deeper with yourself and start achieving the dreams that you've always wanted and creating the life that you've always wanted. I would love if you could share, like, and subscribe our podcast with all your family and your friends, and to like us on all our social media accounts. And don't forget that if you do sign up to our newsletter list, you will get our journaling guide. You will get the challenge we did a few weeks ago. It's still live. And I will be releasing workshops soon, so you'll be the first to know if you're on the newsletter list. So make sure you subscribe by going on to howdidyoulearntodothat.com, and you'll see a pop-up, and as soon as you put in your email, you do have to confirm your subscription, and then you'll start getting the journaling guide and the challenge emails as well. All right, so this week we're not going to share a news story, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to share all the amazing episodes we've had over the last 16 weeks. And I want you, if you're new to us, or if you've been around but you haven't had a chance to check out the episodes that we have released in the last 16 weeks, I'd like for you to take this opportunity to learn a bit more about the episode, and I'll share a bit about what each one was about. And I want you to please go back to that episode and listen to the whole thing to get the insights, to get the story, to be inspired, and to connect with the people that have shared their stories and how they are on their journey to their purpose in life and have decided to live an intentional and purposeful life. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, so the first episode that I released on April 6th, if you can believe it, was about my own purpose in life. How did I get on this journey? Why did I decide to start a podcast? What have I been doing since, I had my daughter, and what have I been doing over the last decade to get myself to this point? There was a lot of work that I had to do, a lot of challenges that I had to endure. There was a lot of questions I had to ask myself and answer as well, and a lot of self-discovery and self-work and connecting with myself before I can actually decide that this is what I wanted to do in life, and this was my purpose in life, to share these stories with you, to inspire you, to encourage you. And as I've begun this podcast, actually, that's been validated for me, because I know now that my life goal is to be a life coach, to encourage you, to coach you, to guide you to being the best version of yourself, because there's so many opportunities out there in the world for us. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm just excited to share these stories with you, and excited to have you here to join me. So check out episode 1 if you want to learn more about me, about my journey, and my purpose in life. So episode 2 was really about how do you actually start to find your purpose in life with journaling. So I had the honor of having Jackie on the episode with me, and she shared her insights of how she's created a morning ritual for herself that allows her to stay aligned, encouraged, and motivated, and able to tackle her day. And she talks about all that work that she does around journaling, around the magic. I know I talked about the magic a couple of weeks ago, but she's the one that actually encouraged me and got me started on that. So I have to thank her for that. But Jackie from Aloha Kai Apparel is so inspiring. So I would love if you could check her out, give her a share and a like, and follow her journey along on Aloha Kai Apparel. And you will know that she actually also is starting a new business called Zen Tropical. So I would encourage you to check that out as well. And funny story actually is that Zen Tropicals is run by Jackie and Nora. And Nora actually was the photographer at my daughter's first birthday. And so we clicked and we hit it off, and I hope I can get her on the podcast someday soon. But I just wanted to let you guys know, and go support them, and like them, and check out all the amazing things that they're doing. So episode 3 was to build upon what we talked about with Jackie, and that was the art of self-reflection. Why is it so important for you to self-reflect every single day? to really understand what is your body saying to you, what's your mind saying to you, what's your soul saying to you, what is the world that's around you, and what are you trying to understand in life. And that's what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to create a morning ritual. And I've talked about the morning ritual mastery course if you need help understanding what a morning ritual is, how to get started, and what to even do. I would encourage you to check out that course, and the link is in my bio on Instagram. So for you to check out, or you can sign up to my newsletter and you will get the link in that as well. So that's what I highly encourage you to check out. And I did do a really great blog post actually around this, around giving you some tips and some ideas of how to self-reflect. There's some decks of cards that you can purchase that has questions that you can start to self-reflect upon. These questions are deeper. They're meant to connect with you deeper, and they're meant for you to ask yourself these questions. And I think I also mentioned that I love pulling out those kinds of deck of cards with my friends, because I love to know them deeper, and I love to know more of who they are and the way they think and process and work as well. So I highly encourage you to check that out, and let me know if you have any questions. And also, if you do get a deck of cards and you want someone to ask you questions, or you want to ask questions of that person, feel free to connect with me. I'm so happy to jump on to an IG live with you, and we can maybe share that with all the followers and listeners, or I could do that privately with you. Just let me know. I'm happy to do that with you. So episode 4, I had my friend Anisa join me and talk about how she pursued her purpose in life, and how she actually was doing a lot of tarot reading and a lot of learning about herself and connecting with herself through tarot reading and astrology. And she talks about that not really necessarily being her purpose in life, but actually allowed her to get on the journey of understanding what her purpose in life is and working through that. So check that episode out. She is inspiring. She talks about her dreams, how her dreams have brought messages to her, and how it's helped her move forward in life and make decisions in life. So check it out. I highly encourage you to do that. So episode 5 was with Ian Stearns, or Ian Stearns, actually. I mispronounce that all the time. Ian Stearns. So Ian actually is in Mongolia right now, but he's from the US. He talks about how his life went down a trajectory after he had to decide what option B was for him, after not being able to make it as a professional football player. And he decided he got actually into the world of substance use, and he decided one day that that was not the world that he wanted to be in anymore, and he wanted more for himself. And he took an opportunity that normally he would pass on, and that opportunity actually just changed his entire life. It led him to Christianity, it led him to missionaries in China, and that's where he met his wife, and he's decided to pursue this purpose in life for himself and create this world for himself. So I think that's amazing. Check out his episode, especially for you gentlemen that tune into the podcast. It's a great, inspiring story around how he's taken his passion and his purpose, and he's put them together and created this life for himself. So episode 6 is one of my favorites, and that's actually 10 steps of how to shift your mindset. It's my favorite because it is the most valuable content I think that I've put together so far, because it actually will make such a big difference in your life for you to take these 10 steps and to actually start to change your mindset, starting to shift your mindset. It will actually make such a difference in your life. It will improve your life. It will allow you to stop feeling the hurt and the pain, but it gives you the tools and the tips to reprocessing that information into something not as negative, in understanding how your mindset plays a role, how your ego plays a role in your life. And it really helps you to move forward in life and figuring that out for yourself. So I would highly encourage you to check out the episode. Check out the blog post as well, because there's a lot of great content in there as well. And let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to know actually what you think of that episode. So connect with me on Instagram at How Did You Learn to Do That. Send me a direct message, sharing your stories and your posts, and I'd be happy to connect. Episode 8 was actually one of the most inspiring stories that I've had the honor of sharing so far. And it was around Dianna and Matthew and how they live an intentional and purposeful life now after a scare with Matthew's life and health. And they talk about that with such passion and such conviction around how today is such an honor for them to be alive and to be pursuing this life together as a family. So I loved that episode. I know a few people that have watched it and have become emotional. So I would highly encourage you to check it out and to let me know what your thoughts are around it. Dianna is an amazing person. You can connect with her on social media as well, and I'll tag her when I share this episode. But make sure that you check it out and let me know what you think. So episode 9 was with Vinita. So Vinita talks about how she stopped those limiting beliefs around fear for herself, how she stopped discouraging herself, and how she started to believe that she was worth more. She was able to do more. She can achieve those dreams that she wanted to achieve. And now she is pursuing those dreams. And, that episode is very inspiring for those of you in school and university that are questioning whether you are pursuing the education that you think you should, or you're not really sure kind of where to go in life. I would really encourage you to watch that episode. So episode 10 is with Athena. Athena is an amazing story of how she was an immigrant here from Mexico, how she's created this life for herself, how she spoke no English, but she did everything she needed to do to learn it. And not only that, but she is an amazing marketer now, and she is on a trajectory in her career and her life that is so inspiring. And she talks about how she just asked for what she wanted and she didn't know if she's going to get it, but she got it. And that's allowed her the flexibility in her life and to be able to create the life that she wishes existed for her. And I love that she also talks about the power of manifestation, about how she manifested living in Vancouver and coming back here from Mexico and living here and marrying somebody from here and having children here and living a life here. So I highly encourage you to check it out. I love her enthusiasm, her passion, and everything around that as well. So episode 11 is with Nadia. Nadia is actually back here in Vancouver now, but at the time of recording, she was in Australia. She and her husband and their young son decided to do a trip abroad for a few weeks. But when they did that, that's right when COVID-19 hit. And basically they were stuck in Australia for 5 months. So shifting her mindset and thinking through that piece of it and kind of adapting to this new normal for her was something that she had to do. But because she had created this nomadic lifestyle for herself and for her work, she was able to really take it wherever she wanted to go. And it didn't matter because her work was not tied to a desk, to an office, to a place, to a time zone. It was nomadic, and so she is able to create that for herself. So check out her episode for inspiration. She is offering a new program called We Are Sea Changers, where she'll coach and guide you around some of the work that she does. And I've joined it myself for information, so I encourage you to also join as well. And episode 12 was with Nicola, who is a life coach. She shares about her inspiration, how she decided to become a life coach, how she moved along into this journey for herself from being a teacher to being a life coach, and all that she does to inspire the world right now. So I'll check her out as well. And episode 13 was about my experience with doing the magic. Like I said, Jackie has the magic group that she organizes on Instagram. And so episode 13 is about my experience with the magic. I did finish it. I was going to do an episode on it actually, but I've decided not to do that because a lot of the content that I shared was already in that episode. That was day 18 of 28. And I would say that it was an amazing experience. But a lot of the content that I would share is in that episode already. So check it out. And if you have direct questions about the whole 28-day practice, send me a message and I'd be happy to chat with you as well. So episode 14 was one that was very near to me, very near and dear to me. It was very emotional to record that. It was something that I kind of had been putting on the back burner for the last 5 years. But I share my why. I share my experience of, having the greatest loss of my life, the loss of my son, and how that's encouraged me to pursue this in my life, this purposeful, intentional life of mine. And I highly encourage you to check it out, because I do talk about how if option A doesn't work, option A does not work out for you, what can you do to kick the shit out of option B? So I do encourage you to check that out and let me know what you think. And then episode 15, I recorded with my friends Roshni and Victoria, and we talked about what it was like to adjust to becoming moms. And for all you new moms out there, you know exactly what we're talking about. So check it out. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, again, reach out. And then the episode that just released last week was about how to actually unlearn from your parents and start to grow into a bigger, better person and a better version of yourself. That means unlearning the generational trauma that's passed down to you. Stop inheriting those traits that you inherited from your parents, and how to actually stop that cycle so that you don't pass that on to your own kids and your own families. So those were the past 16 episodes. A lot of information, a lot of content, a lot of inspiring stories, and I hope that you've had time to listen to them. And if not, make sure you to go back to the episodes that you would love to listen to and let me know what you think. And if there's anybody that you would like to nominate for an episode to share their story or their information, please let me know. Send me an email, info at howdidyoulearntodothat.com. You can contact me on the website as well. There's a contact form, or send me a direct message on Instagram, and I'd be happy to get them on. If you yourself want to share your story, also encourage you to send me a message. But if there's any other content or information that you're interested to learn about, to know about, you want me to speak about, let me know, and I'd be happy to put something together for you. Like I said, there will be workshops coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. Sign up to the newsletter list so that you'd be the first to know, and let me know what you think. And with that, if you could like, subscribe, and share our podcast with all your family and your friends, that would be amazing. Let me know what you think. And remember that you can catalyze your life from ordinary to extraordinary, and it just starts with you. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.